About that bass, no trouble. I'm all about that bass, no trouble. I'm all about that bass.
Hey, and welcome to 5 by 5 at 5. So what that means is every weekday at 5 p.m. Eastern for 5 minutes, I'm going to be talking about topics about health and nutrition that matter to your health. So I picked a topic tonight that I thought was really important and something that I've been seeing the numbers on and for a number of years seeing what happens in our healthcare world today. And so the topic tonight is what you need to know about Big Pharma. So I'm not anti-medicine, I'm pro-health. And I'm here to help you with ways that you can take control of your health. And I believe that is possible. So where did I come from with the ideas that I have about health? Well, one is working with a major food company and also working in the pharmaceutical industry. And I've chosen what I feel like today is the better route to help people. So I'm not anti-medicine, but I am pro-health. And I think we are not doing as good a job as we can to keep you healthy as healthcare professionals. So the good news is you have more control than you think. And it's actually, at the end of the day here, going to be a really positive message tonight. So many of you have been with me for a long time on Healthy with Dawn, and I decided, and you, Santa, included in that, hello. I've decided to do some lives to be able to interact more with you. Please comment, questions, your opinion. Give me a thumbs up if you like what I'm saying. I just want to be here for you, for your health, and appreciate you guys who've been with me for a long time, and I welcome the new people that have joined me in the last few days. So anyway, I'm a dietitian and practice in traditional healthcare, like I said, with a major food company and pharmaceuticals for a number of years. But 20 years ago, I discovered the power of the human body to heal itself using supplements, eating well, and a lifestyle that we're going to be talking about. So I guess bottom line for me is when I realized the power of the human body to heal itself, I was a little angry because I had spent years in working in healthcare prior to that, gotten my degree in nutrition, and never was it even suggested that the body could actually heal itself. And the past 20 years have shown to me that is absolutely a fact. The body is designed to heal. So like I said, that's good news. If that kind of annoys you too, that you didn't know that until today, comment, because I was the same. So here's just some facts to set the tone for why I put the things in my group that I put in, why I say the things that I say, is that we spend nearly $400 billion on pharmaceuticals every year. And we're really not getting the health outcomes that we should be spending that kind of money. We have epidemic rates of metabolic syndrome, type 2 diabetes, hypertension, chronic disease, epidemic rates of chronic disease. Young teenagers are having to have liver transplants because of their diets. So this is a subject that we need to take seriously, and we need to look at some facts that surround why we're seeing what we're seeing. So my premise is that pharmaceuticals, yes, when they're necessary, but that shouldn't be the first step. You know, no way should that be the first step. And we're going to talk more about why that is. But some other facts as to why we do things the way we do them is that 80% of medical schools don't teach any nutrition to their medical students. Well, if nutrition is the number one way to get healthy, why would we not teach that to our medical professionals? 50% of the funding to medical schools comes from the pharmaceutical industry. So when you start to think about why are physicians taught the way they're taught, you have to look at the source. As a dietitian, a lot of our conferences were led by major food companies. So that's who suggested information and gave us information to go on as we became dietitians and learned about the food industry, but probably isn't the best source based on what we see with the food industry today. In the US in 2020, 75% of ad spending was done by pharmaceutical companies. So this is who we have teaching our doctors. This is who we have suggesting what we need to do to live our lives and how we need to go about it. And I don't think it's the right way. What do you guys think? I see Santa, you think it makes you crazy. I agree. So enough about that side. It's already been 5 minutes. I can't believe it. Okay, I'm going to go a little over tonight. I guess I need to talk faster, but just a few things here. So we'll try to keep it to 5 minutes, but I guess no guarantees on that. So here's the thing. Here's an analogy for you. A number of years ago, I went to a conference with a geneticist, and he gave this analogy that healthcare, as far as pharmaceuticals and nutrition, let's compare that to a leaky faucet. So if you have a faucet that's leaking and you put a rug under it or a towel to soak up the water, it's not really going to bother you. You're not going to be bothered by the water that's leaking out of the faucet because it's being kept and caught by this the rug. So that's kind of like the pharmaceutical approach to healthcare, is that there's very few cures in the pharmaceutical industry. What's happening is the disease is getting worse. The faucet continues to drip, right? The disease continues to get worse, but you don't notice it because your symptoms are being managed by drugs. And that's really what they're for, is to manage your symptoms. But if your disease is getting worse and you're just using meds to manage your symptoms, probably it's going to lead to a higher dose of meds. Meds have side effects. Sometimes the side effects from the meds are handled by other meds, so you end up sometimes on a lot of medication and not really better off for the long run. I remember one lady that I worked with was on 23 medications, still at home on her couch, still in a lot of pain, not really a lot of energy to do anything, and I helped her get off of 21 of those medications, and she started living life. So it's just an example to me, my first example really, as I saw the power of nutrition and what nutrition can do for us. So let's finish up here tonight. So what are we going to be talking about as you're joining me in the evenings at 5 o'clock for, I'm going to try to stick to 5 minutes, I promise. But we're going to talk about choosing healthy foods. So stick with me on that. Even this week, we're going to talk about what does that mean? And you could, of course, Google healthy foods, and you'll probably see a pretty good list. But we're going to talk about what that is. Moving, 150 minutes a week of moderate to intense exercise with some strength training. That's what's recommended for moving. But start out by parking farther away. Start out by doing some squats as you're making your coffee in the morning. Just start doing something is really the launch point to starting a healthier life. Getting 8 hours of quality sleep, so important every night. Determines aging. Really, sleep is of the utmost importance because that's when our bodies restore. Hi, Claudia. Hi, Becky. Nice to have you ladies on with me tonight. I like to have some company, so you'll have to backtrack here if you missed some things. And it's going a little over 5 minutes tonight, as you can see, but I'm doing my best to stay on track my first time. But hydrating is another rule of thumb if you want to be healthy. So half your body weight in ounces is the minimum. So carry a water bottle with you. Put some fruit or something in your water to make it taste a little different sometimes. Hi, Jane. Nice to have you. We're just finishing up here, Jane, with some healthy tips. But supplementing is my number 5 tip for having a healthy lifestyle, healthy aging, slowing down the aging process. And we're going to talk more about that. But as a dietitian, my number 1 recommendation for supplementing is Relive Now. And I'll put a link to that in the comments because people are always asking me, if you recommend supplements, which one should I choose? There's so many. Been using that one for 20 years with my family, with my clients, and it's a difference maker. Okay, so I'm going to wrap up because I appreciate you guys joining me. I don't want to keep you at the dinner hour, but I hope that this helped you. I would love to hear your comments. I would love to hear about things that you want to hear about. So please, in the comments, let me know. But I just invite you to join me weekdays at 5 o'clock for 5 minutes to learn about some things that can really impact your health and share this with people that you love. So put it on your calendar, join me, and take one step before tomorrow night. Just get started on something. Pick something for tomorrow morning. More water, committing to better sleep tonight, whatever it might be, but let's work together on this. All right. Thanks for joining me, ladies. Thanks for joining me, everyone else on the replay. Give me a replay in the comments so I know who's there and how I can accommodate you best. All right. Good night. See you tomorrow.
Because you know I'm all about that bass, no trouble. I'm all about that bass.